guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be reviewing, demoing, and pretty much just letting you guys know if I will be repurchasing the Jeffree Star Cosmetics concealer, powder, and the Orgy palette that I recently got last week, I believe. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the little notification bell so you guys can get notified whenever I post videos. And yeah, let's get started. You know, I primed my eyelids and I'm ready for my video, but my nails are a hot mess. So it's things like these where it's like, I gotta take this nail polish off. So all right, let's get started. I'm gonna take the palette, and I wanted to do something natural, obviously. That's what I've been doing a lot lately, but there was just no way I was gonna show you guys the full potential of this palette if I didn't go smoky. So we're gonna do that today. So first, I'm gonna go ahead and take this shade over here. Taking the JH30, we are gonna pop this all over the crease and above as our transition shade. I just want you guys to see all the fallout that it has on the pan. It does have a lot of fallout, but I feel like the butterier the eyeshadows get, the more fallout they get, just because like they're so buttery, you know. So as long as they blend good and look good, I really don't care for that. Just wanted to show y'all. After that, we are gonna be taking this shade right here, which is such a pretty like reddish brown, and using the Morphe M513, I'm gonna be popping that in the crease. Okay, now that we placed that on, I'm gonna go ahead and take a darker shade. I'm gonna take this one on the corner here, and this is gonna be our main lid shade, but I'm gonna still take a fluffy brush to apply that, the M514, just so that, I don't know, it's just easier to apply if I get a fluffy brush, and it's easier to like blow it out and pack it on to my liking. So I pretty much start on the lid, and then I kind of work my way up a little bit with whatever's left over. I'm gonna go back with the crease shade, Invitation Only, and we're gonna blend out that darker shade. And then I'm gonna take the big fluffy brush with my transition shade and just kind of go over the whole thing. To brighten up the inner corner and as my brow bone highlight, I'm gonna take my favorite highlighting shade from this palette. It's this one right here. Super pretty, super pigmented, super brightening. And I'm gonna take the JH38 pencil brush, and we're just gonna pack this on right in here. And what I love about this palette is that it has the yellowy tone, but then it also has like the pinky tone and like the more white tone. Like it has literally like every tone of white that I feel like you could definitely find like your shade that goes with your skin. Okay, now we are going to take the black shade from the palette, and taking this flat definer brush, this is the JH43. Instead of like a dark eyeliner, I'm just going to take the eyeshadow, and we're going to press this on the lash line just to darken it up a bit, but not like too harshly. Okay, so the eyeshadow is done. I'm gonna go ahead and add a mascara and lashes, and I'll be right back to start on the face. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, so here we have the lashes. They are on. I went ahead and took the Intoxicating Lashes from Flutter. These are so beautiful, and I think that they always look so pretty when you don't wear eyeliner. These lashes are not for the natural gal, but they're very pretty. They're not overly dramatic, but they do add a little spice, a little drama. So Love these lashes. I already did my foundation as well, just because we're not really talking about foundation today. So yes, let's go ahead and take the concealer. This concealer is literally almost all gone. So I wanted to make a video before I obviously completely finished it, so I could show you guys what it looks like. This is the shade C14. When I first bought this, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really like the shade too well because I felt like it was way too light for me. But as y'all can see right now that I'm my lightest, I feel like it looks nice. The undertone to this is like a yellow undertone, and you could definitely see it. And when I compare it to like my e.l.f. concealer, the peachy shade, you can really tell. But we're gonna go ahead and just apply this like this all over the under eye. I know a lot of girls are like overdoing it like this, but I still do it like this. I know the trend nowadays is just to add like some out here and in here, but whatever. To each their own. Apply it however you want. As y'all can see, I love the applicator to this. It's like a little teardrop looking thing, and it has a little hole in the center, which is supposed to hold concealer in the middle, so when you're applying it, you can literally turn it around and add more. And I honestly love that about it. I hope more brands come out with these type of ones because I honestly love it. That's one of my favorite things about that concealer. So yeah, what I do a lot lately, I've said this before, but in case you're new to my channel, I like to let my concealer sit a little bit. That way it kind of sets a little to where it's not going to be too wet and the sponge is not going to take a lot of the product. I like to let it sit, and then when you go over with the sponge, most of it is already on your skin, set on it, so it doesn't like just soak up a lot of it. I feel like when that happens, it takes away coverage. So doing this again is just gonna keep more of the coverage that the concealer is supposed to give anyway, and it's just gonna look a lot more flawless. So we're just gonna let this sit a little bit, and then I'll be right back to blend it. It's been sitting a little bit, so we're gonna go ahead and start blending it out. So I'm just taking this e.l.f. sponge. So as y'all can see, it's a very brightening. Like this shade is very brightening on me, but I promise it's gonna look good after I set it and everything. When I first got it, I was a lot more tan and it looked like white on me, and I hated it. So I stopped using it. But now that I'm lighter, again, I'm saying like it looks a lot better on me. So it's definitely very highlighting, but I really like it. I didn't apply foundation right under my eye because I wanted y'all to see the coverage that it gives. Letting it sit, just, oh my god, the coverage is so nice when you let it sit. So this is what the concealer looks like all blended out. It looks flawless, seamless. I pretty much let the product speak for itself. Y'all can see the eyeshadow as well. Looks nice and blended. This is what my eyes look like when I look up, if y'all want to pause it. So it never fails. In between my videos, my son Casey woke up, so I just wanted to show y'all my concealer has been sitting under my eyes for, I would say, like 5 minutes, and it has not really creased up or anything, so that is really nice. I'm gonna take the powder. This is the beige shade, and I feel like this one's honestly perfect for my skin tone. So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and take my sponge, and we're just gonna pop this right on. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I love the cotton candy smell, and it doesn't smell like strong. It's like a faint smell. It smells so nice. This formula is very thin, very buttery as well. It is matte for sure. Now, if you have a dry under eye, this can get a little drying under the eyes, I'm not gonna lie. But if you set your face with like a hydrating spray, it'll look nice. Because I use my Mario Badescu setting spray and it looks nice with it. So just throwing that out there. So while this sits under my eye a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you in a little bit just to finish up the under eye. Starting with the darker shade, I'm using the flat definer, and I'm gonna take the darker shade, the darker brown, and we're gonna press this on the lower lash line. It does have like a little bit of the black left over, so that's why we're not gonna add any more black. Okay, I'm taking the JH40, and I'm gonna take this shade right there, and we're just gonna blend out that darker shade we applied. And I'm really gonna like take my time and smoke this out because I don't want that to be harsh like at all. So I'm just gonna sit here and blend, blend, blend. I'm taking the same highlight shade we use, and we're just gonna brighten up the lower part of the inner corner now. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. For the waterline, I'm gonna take a brown. This is just the ColourPop Woodsy shade. I don't want anything too dark. Guys, if you're an OG of mine, like, you know, I used to always do nothing but black. But I'm just so past that stage now. Like, I'm just all about, like, the more natural way. But I never realized how beautiful the brown looks instead of the black. Like, the black can be very, very harsh. But this looks so pretty. So, okay, so that's going to be it for the eyes. I'm just going to add mascara on the lower lashes, finish up my face, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I am finished with my makeup. As you guys can see, my face is looking flawless. My under eyes look nice and bright. And by the way, I didn't use like a highlighting powder or anything after I used the Jeffree Star powder. Just like, I know this is strictly the Jeffree Star concealer and not highlighter, sorry, the powder under the eyes only. So yes, it is looking nice and highlighted and bright and just so pretty. It doesn't look cakey. For me at least, the coverage is really nice. So in case you guys are wondering what my lip combo is, it's a little strange, but I went ahead and took the MAC lip liner in the shade Cork, and then I took the Milani liquid lipstick in the shade Stunning on top. That lipstick by itself is pretty dark, so I went ahead and actually took a little bit of the concealer and I tapped it on top of the lipstick to lighten it up a little bit more. And it created such a pretty nude shade. It is still a darker lip, but it added like that pretty lighter touch that it needed. I've done this before where I put that exact concealer on top of liquid lipsticks to make them look a little lighter, and you guys, the way that it wears on my lips is actually really nice. Like, it doesn't get like tacky or anything like that. It actually stays pretty matte. So just letting y'all know, like, look at that. It doesn't like transfer, if you know what I mean. So now I'm sure you guys are already thinking probably what I'm gonna say, if I'm gonna repurchase the concealer and the powder. And my answer is yes, I will be repurchasing this again. I highly recommend this concealer and powder duo. I don't feel like it gets talked as much. I feel like when it first came out, it was like all the hype, but I just don't see a lot of YouTubers or people using these powders that much anymore. And I'm sure it's because a lot of stuff comes out all the time, but these are products that, like, when I have special occasions, I've been using a lot. And obviously you can see, like, I already used up the concealer, so you know that I love it. I feel like for the price point, like, they're so worth it, so nice. Highly recommend these. So yes, and then when it comes to the palette, I do have a couple thoughts on this. Now I'm holding it with one hand because I have my son literally on the other. Now I know when Jeffree Star first came out with a palette, it was a very controversial palette just because of the name on it. And to be honest, like, when I first heard Orgy, that was the name of the palette, I was just like, oh, you know, that's very straightforward and in your face type thing, which obviously to me, like, I don't care. I'm just like, whatever, like, we're all adults, you know, it is what it is. But it sucks because my daughter loves to do like makeup, and this is a palette where I was like hiding it from her, and I was like, why do I feel like I have to hide a palette from my daughter, you know? But yeah, like, I found myself hiding it from her, and not just because of the name, but because it literally has naked Jeffree Star all over it. And thank God he has tattoos, so it kind of looks like he has clothes on from far away. But yeah, I was just kind of like, it's so Jeffree Star like, you know, so you really just kind of justify it like that. And just like, I don't know if y'all noticed, like, just the names in this palette are obviously just very, very straightforward and in your face, which again, it's not like that huge of a deal. But even saying them on camera, I'm just kind of like, what if a little girl is looking at this video wanting to see my makeup, and then the shadow names just are just not appropriate for that. So that's why I didn't really say the names of the eyeshadows as I was using them. I was just kind of pointing them out. But yeah, I mean, that's just kind of my thoughts. I do feel like it's a very sexualized palette, if you will, but I'm sure that's just the point of it all, which obviously it's more of like a thing where it's like, okay, well, if you don't like it, then don't buy it. Or if you don't think it's appropriate, then why get it? Or you know what I mean? Why even make a video out of it? But that's just my point of view. The reason I had to get this palette is just because it is a very unique palette. You don't see a full palette with full nudes that literally range from the lightest to yellow skin tones to pinky peachy skin tones. That's one thing I love about it, and I just feel like anybody that uses this palette from lightest to darkest, you'll be able to find a shade that is for you in this palette. So yes, just throwing that out there. When I first used this palette, I used it to do a very natural look, and I was just not impressed. I was like, wow, I could totally take my bronzer or like the browns that I already have in my collection and just do a look like this. It was very simple. So I just thought kind of like, wow, there's nothing really unique or like must have that you need from the palette. But then I did this look right here, and like I said, the eyeshadows were just so buttery. I was like, using the darker shades are what's gonna be the make or break it for me with this palette. And as y'all can see, like the eyeshadows just look so smooth on the eyes. They blend so nicely. They're buttery. I mean, there's nothing bad I have to say about them. And that is one thing, if you're someone that like cares a lot about formula, stuff like that, like you'll notice the quality in the eyeshadows, the quality in the palette itself is so nice. Like if you want luxurious feeling, like you get that. It's definitely like worth your money. It feels so soft and smooth, such a pretty matte feel to it. Even the packaging, like when you receive it, you can tell like Jeffree Star goes above and beyond with the packaging. Even I felt bad throwing it away because it was just so nice, but at the end of the day, that's how it is with packaging, unless you're someone that really hoards packaging and just is all about it. I'm not super crazy about packaging. I can let stuff like that go, and I'm sure there's a lot more people like that out there, so it's just kind of like so the palette is $60 or $58 if I'm not mistaken. And when I got that palette, actually I hit a really good sale. I've never seen Jeffree Star have this sale. It was a buy one palette get one free of equal or less price. And you guys, I was like, what? Like I don't own any Jeffree Star palettes, just because I could never cough up like $58, that's a lot for a palette. And I was just like, no, you know, I'll get it one day or when he has a good sale or something. And it came up, and I got the Orgy palette and I got the Jawbreaker palette, which look out for videos using this one as well. So again, concealer and powder, I highly recommend. When it comes to the palette, do I feel like you absolutely must have this palette in your life? You don't absolutely need it. But is it worth it? Yes, it is worth the money. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love y'all. Please take care, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye.